Alright, we're replacing some equipment that I gave away to a good friend of mine a year ago. The house game gave him a nice Star Adventure tracker, which is a really easily portable unit, which I need now because it takes 3 hours setup time and 2 hours teardown time with my other scopes, and that's getting ridiculous. And you also risk damage every time you tear up and set down. Somebody cares a whole lot about got me this. Another Star Adventure tracker, which I'll be able to use for 50% of my astrophotography in there. Also, a whole new concept too that we're going to be going into with solar. But this is very portable. Sets up in a couple of minutes. It's ready to go. I'm going to track up to 3 minutes, which is good for H alpha, but it will suffice. But if you want to get into astro for the first time, you want to save a lot of money, and you're going to want to get one of these units here. This is the Star Adventure Pro Tracker. For the money, it's incredible. About $400, maybe a little more with the extras you need. This will give you a free flashlight. This will attract the movement of the Earth for up to about 3 minutes. Some people get more. You can put a guide cam on it. It has a slot, but it doesn't have a go-to, and it only tracks on the right ascension motor. So that's one of the reasons why I won't track longer than 3 minutes. You start getting deflection of declination at about 3 minutes. But this will work for any DSLR. All the pro photographers use it. It's excellent for all. It has several modes for astrophotography, even including the Milky Way shots, so you can shoot the Milky Way longer than 30 seconds at you can go, instead of 10 millimeter or 14 millimeter, you can go up to even a 2, 3, 4, 500 millimeter. But there's a lot of stuff that's really nice around 100 millimeter, 70 millimeter, 50 millimeter. That's where you get wide field astro, and you just need your DSLR lenses for that. You don't need a telescope. Very enjoyable, but we all know that glass lenses cost more than telescopes. We know that, right? So this is the unit here, and it's going to mount onto the tripod. It came with a polar wedge. You want to make sure it comes. This is an attachment for the camera. It mounts onto the tracker. And, that's for polar light. I save all my boxes in case I ever have to sell it or give it away. I'm not giving this one away. No Pastine starts using it. It's been a year, he hasn't even used it yet. I thought we would share, taking a lot of images together, but he's got it rough. He's got to work 16 hours a day in Norway, and then in the wintertime it's just too frigid. It's too cold. Let's see if I'm still recording. Yeah, I'm still recording. I should be able to record for a long time. Oh, that's messed up. There. Because I have the higher rate card and higher rate battery in my 850, which it requires to shoot longer than 10 minutes. Now, I got a new ball mount because I don't like switching that over all the time, too. These are about $90 right here. They're really good ball mounts for the top of the tripod, and that's going to mount to this after we get the polar wedge. I guess the polar wedge is in this box. And this is about $60, I think, for the polar wedge. The tracker's actually about $350 with the photo attachment, camera attachment. But these extras, they're must-haves. You must have these extras. Like I said, I save them in boxes because they're nice for packing it away. Yeah, that's the polar wedge. That's going to mount on the tracker. That gives you your latitude. And I'm at, 34 north, so I'm going to set that to 34 north. So I'm going to be aligned, and I'll attach it like that. It's going to attach like this and align to 34 north, and then I'm going to put it on my tripod. And here it has the azimuth right here. It controls it backwards and forwards for your to be perfectly aligned to the pole star. Now you don't have to align to the pole star. You can 2-star align and all that good stuff. But again, this doesn't have a go-to. So you got to know your night sky. You can get an app on your phone that works really well, where you just use the camera and you just point it up at the sky and it'll tell you where you are. And so if you want to shoot a distant galaxy or anything like that, you can do so. And they gave me an extra dovetail mount, which is really nice for a camera or telescope. And I do have a little piece that goes over that and turns it down to your normal camera size. Probably don't need any of these things. Okay, so that's going to actually dovetail mount. This is a new design. They didn't used to do it this way. It's going to need a little piece. And I'm sure it came with it. I'm sure it's in there. If not, I have one with my other. No. There, not in there. It's not in here. Let's just put the counterweight. I don't like using the counterweight for a couple of different reasons. Because it doesn't set up to the center of gravity for a bigger lens. I prefer mounting the ball mount on the very center of the tracker, right in here. When you use this photo mount, and the counterweight sticks way out here, and so it's more rickety, especially for a big lens. It might be nice to use this for smaller lenses. I wonder where that little thing is. I need that. I have one in the house that came with my other ball mount. Well, maybe there's one in here. The adapter takes it down to a smaller size. This is the ball mount that mounts. I like to use on my tracker instead of the photo. Now there it is. You see it's right there. The little. Oh, that isn't going to work. That's the wrong end. It's the wrong adapter. It's the other way. It needs to. I'd have to use a different dovetail mount. Let's see. $90 for this. None of this stuff is cheap. If you're looking to save money, just forget it. It is not. With photography of any kind, if you want to get serious about photography, you need to get a Porsche. Right. Still missing something. That adapter. That might work. Let's see if it works. I don't think it may work. They usually give you everything you need, but there's no real instructions on any of this stuff. You got to kind of figure it out on your own. I can't see. Yeah, I think. Not sure. 2. Because see, this is smaller. I think what they want you to do is you unscrew this one out of here, the smaller one. That's what I did last time. I'll get a screwdriver. I'll be right back. Okay, we'll go back into this. Kind of straighten things up a little bit. Okay. This polar wedge that gives you accurate latitude doesn't come with the tracker, so you have to order it separately. The way you turn the dial is you loosen. Well, it gets pretty tight, but they've got it set so I can't. There we go. You can see here that it has all these different modes, and there's an arrow there, and right now it's off. But they have one speeds, and then they have moon, sun, and stars. Those are the 3 main functions you want. You can read the manuals and go online, look up forum groups, and figure out how to use these other settings. These are kind of like when you want to get that effect of, or it's for time lapse too. But that's more advanced. This unit is about $30, but it comes with, when you buy the Astro package, and at about $329. I think it's $279 without it. Something, I don't know. But you might even be able to buy this with that and with this and with all together for a price. I'd save a little. So, what you got to know about this is this little lens cap. What you have in here is you have a polar guide scope built inside, and it comes out here, so you've got to see. Now that's what this attachment is for. But the way they designed this, you can't see it with the camera on. You got to take the camera or the telescope off to be able to see through the guide scope. There's a little adapter a guy makes, his own little 3D printer that corrects that problem. I don't know why they didn't do it. It's got a battery, it takes a battery, has a little red light in it, and it's going to give you a light, so when you polar align you have a guide scope to look through. It's going to fit in there like that. And so, okay, so this is a dovetail mount. They're always nice. So we want this dovetail mount to mount to here. Now, I'm not sure what size that is. Looks like it's giving us an option to either screw it in here. I think that's what that's for, maybe not. But we could screw it in here to this one. I prefer to have it in the center, but as you can see, it's too big. It's way too big. Even if we unscrew, which I wanted to do, this one, I think it's still too big. It's not the right. It might work now. When you save these, what I do is I always keep my boxes, so I'll put this in a plastic bag with the other one, and I'll put it in my box for my ball mount. Then I'll always know where it's at. And like I said, I don't throw my boxes away in case I ever need to sell something on eBay or whatever, or I don't know. I like to keep the boxes. I think it's a really smart thing to do. I sold my old D810 Nikon box. I just sold it for $40 on eBay. And now I'm selling my 850 box for another 20 or 30. I got more out of the 810 because I added a couple things like a CF card. Yeah, there it is. So now it's the right size. What's nice about a dovetail mount is they just they work so nice and safe. On this one, that's weird. They gave me too big of a dovetail mount. No, they didn't. There it is. And that other one acts as a stopper, which is nice. Because usually this is going to be slanted up and it's going to want to have this tendency to fall out. There, and this is now beginning to look like a tracker. And we'll go ahead and put the photo mount thing on, and we're going to go ahead and put the counterweight on too. But I'm using my only DSLR at the moment. I don't have my other one here or another one here. Okay, and this is adjustable, you know, back and forth, and that's going to be about weight and gravity, because your camera's going to actually mount out here. So you're going to want this counterweight right here. This costs about $30. It's not very expensive. There's the bar for it. There's the actual weight for it. It's adjustable too. An open bag. What? Why did they give me an open bag? I don't know. Perhaps something is missing. Oop, I heard something. I heard what was missing. Well, no, that's not what's missing. That's what I want to put away. Save all the bubble wrap because I sell stuff on eBay. Don't like to buy bubble wrap, it's very expensive. You don't need the instructions, it's self-explanatory. Let's make sure I'm still recording. No, I'm still recording, good. The battery gets low, good stuff. So, that. This actually mounts onto this. Tighten it like that. This is going to mount here, but we're going to slip our counterweight on like this. Nail it down. Now we're going to screw it in here, which is a little tedious for me. I'm old and decrepit. It's hard to do this when you go to this weight here. Get it on track. See how it works. Now, depending on how heavy your lens, you know, you can use a 60 millimeter scope on this. People do it. They even put a guide scope on it because it has a guiding port, and that's right here. See, it says auto guide. See that? Auto guide. It will shoot, and you want it in the north, unless you're in Australia. You want that set to end. These arrows will control the right ascension motor axis, and that will be this on axis here. That's right ascension, and your declination is manual, and that's here. This will turn this way and that way, and that's your declination. This is where you right here. You mount, if you have a big lens, you mount your lens here. Your camera sits back here. And you calibrate the weight. You want it balanced. So you're going to loosen that up. What you're going to do is you're going to attach your camera and the lens, and you're going to balance it. Now, for this demonstration, I can get a lens. I've got a 70 to 200 millimeter Nikon lens, which this lens is not telescopic. It's telephoto, but it's not telescopic. It's apochromatic, and so you can use it for astrophotography. You can use it for astro. And you can even use it telescopic, but you're going to get CA. You're going to get a lot of aberrations, coronal aberrations, with a telescopic lens for astro. But it can be used. Okay, let me get that. Okay, I'm back with. I really should be setting this up on a tripod so things don't fall down. I want to give you an example with a scope or lens how this works. Now, this lens here is like an $1,800 lens, and about twice as much as a 60 millimeter scope. So this is and you see it has a mount that you put on a tripod. This is to keep the weight of the lens off the body of the camera. We're just going to connect it now like a telescope, like you would a telescope or your camera. Yeah, you know, I dropped one of these and broke it. The signal. For demonstration, that's when shit always happens. I'm trying to show somebody else how to do something. That's when shit happens. Okay, this has a double lock on it. I'm locking it on it. I really shouldn't be doing this like this. And what we can do here is we can apply a female dove, so we don't have to screw it in every time. It's the better way to go. What I can do here is I can take the dove off the. This works better. The dove off the. Oh no, I got two males. Get a female on here. That won't work. So I can do this. This gives you a lot of different options. If you put this ball mount on this end, then you can track all over the place. But it gets weird. It'll confuse you until you have some experience. And we don't want to confuse you. This crap is confusing enough. But there's sort of a bayonet, sort of a dovetail mount here to make things a little safer and easier. And we'll just go ahead. Now we can just slide it in the slider after we screw it. Screwing is always harder, right? You can see that. Okay, so. And this is our declination axis, and we're going to just now slide this in here. It's supposed to be a little bit easier than screwing it. There we go. There, bang. Okay, so now we got something that really looks like a tracker. It's important to note that we have a double lock nut, so you want to loosen it there, and you want to loosen it there. Now this will adjust this way, so it's moving up. Let's show you. Let's go up here. You want the center one tight first, and then you can leave the other one loose, and now you can adjust it, fine tune it. See? You can fine tune your declination axis, and later I'm going to show you how to polar align and the proper way to do it, because there's a wrong way and there's a right way, and one you have to make sure that you're tracking with the earth. So this is basically how it's going to sit on your tripod. It's going to go right there on the tripod. It's going to mount right there, and then you're going to, I'll show you how to do that in the next little video. I'll show you how to balance it and everything. you know, when you put the camera on. It's going to be moving this forward or backwards, so it's balanced, and you'll be able to tell because you're going to loosen that, and it will be balanced. And I hope I covered everything. I think I covered enough for now. We'll resume a little bit with the other settings. We got to put batteries in. That's right here. And I'm going to show you how to actually calibrate the declination, the right ascension, to actually set it and search for a target. Well, you know, my own tracker had degrees on it, so you could do that, but I'm not seeing any here. And I don't think the auto guide's going to help you out. But you can use Nikon or Canon Backyard with this, because it doesn't even connect really to the tracker. It just can connect directly to the camera. But you can go through this tracker. I haven't done that, but there's supposed to be really elaborate ways of doing that. It's supposed to be. Here's where your cutaway batteries go. I think it takes 4. And we're going to go get those 2. I'll be back. I got some other stuff to do. I'm going to have to resume this later. I think it's going to be, might be clearer tonight, so we'll be able to shoot with this. I'm going to have to get my other cameras out. One of them, maybe I'll use my GoPro. I'm going to finish this off so I can set the camera up to tripod I'm using, the camera I'm using right now, the D850 Nikon. Really nice camera, especially for astro, but any photography. But it has this special backlit sensor. That's new technology. It's not offered on any other camera, and it's for low light, which is great for astro. And it's great for, I love low light. I think all photography is better in low light, in my opinion. Artistic, that is, not technical. Technical, you want lots of light. And then of course studio light for your porn, right? I don't do porn, but some people, most people are into it because it's perfectly natural to be into porn. I'm just not into it. Okay, so that's gonna work like that. And you do have some stuff there you might want to look at. Okay, so we've got this very cool, inexpensive, my other tracker's two grand. For under $500, we've got this very, very cool tracker. Now, later I am going to show you how to put the ball mount. Now, what the ball mount's going to do, you can understand this whole rickety thing, but the ball mount's going to allow us to connect the camera straight on its axis right here. So there's not going to be no wobbling or rigging. We're going to be able to mount the camera and lens right there. Later I'm going to show you how to do that, but right now I'm going to get something started. So for $500 instead of $2,000, you can begin to do telescopic imagery. Okay, just for a brief moment here, I'm going to go grab my other tracker, my big one. They make bigger, so that's it. Get bigger. Just going to give you an idea here. Okay, here's the same thing, but this one's 80 pounds, and was one of my other trackers, and they make bigger than this. Of course, this Skywatcher Pro. And you can see it has a polar wedge. It has it also has a declination axis, and actually 20 extra pounds of weight's going on this, making it about 100 pounds. And about almost $2,000 for this setup. So you can see the difference, but that will do much of what this will do with smaller lenses and stuff. So anyway, let me set this down. I gotta put it in the house, but yeah. So you can see what this cute little instrument is doing here. It's just wonderful. And these are very accurate. Now your tripod has to be a decent one. This happens to be like $150 Oben, and it's an excellent. It's lightweight, but it's very sturdy. It's very, very sturdy. And so yeah, I got this. Will work fine. This will work fine for the Star Adventure, Skywatcher, and the Star Adventure. Okay, so next we're going to set it up on the tripod. I think we can use this wedge. I don't know. Let's see here. I think that'll work. Yeah, that'll work nicely. Which means we can mount it on the base. Here. Okay, well this is sort of basic final view here. I passed over a few things that I probably should go back and show you how to do it. This is going to basically let us balance it. Well, we need to put our camera, we're using it right now. But to give you an idea how it works, well, first of all,